Good evening. My name is Lori Ann Richardson. I'm the president and CEO of the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Can you hear me okay? Thank you. On behalf of the Millbrae Chamber and the City of Millbrae, I'd like to begin by thanking you for joining us tonight. We know how busy you all are, and we appreciate your time. Oh, before we go any further, could you please make sure your cell phones are either turned off or in silent mode? Thank you. I'd like to ask one of our Millbrae Chamber student ambassadors, Marco Lowe, to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Marco? Here he is. So this is our new Chamber student ambassador from Mills High School, Marco Lowe. And if you would be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Marco. The Chamber is honored to continue the tradition of hosting and sponsoring Millbrae's annual State of the City Address. Millbrae's first official State of the City Address was held in 1998 in conjunction with the city's 50th anniversary celebration. So that makes this the 16th Millbrae State of the City Address. And this is a unique event because it brings city officials, school district representatives, business and civic leaders, service organization members, and Millbrae residents together in one room to hear our mayor reflect on the city's past year of accomplishments and challenges while sharing plans and a vision for Millbrae's future. I would like to thank our dedicated city staff members, led by City Manager Marcia Raines, for working hard to make Millbrae the kind of place we all want to work, play, and live in. Okay, I think this might be a good time to recognize our elected officials here with us tonight, and the ones that at least were supposed to be here with us tonight. We have Supervisor Dave Pine from Supervisor Dave Pine's office. And representing the Millbrae City Council, we have Mayor Wayne Lee and Council Member Marge Colapietro. And of course, city staff members joining us include City Manager Marcia Raines, Fire Chief Mark Lattis, maybe he's not here yet, and Police Bureau Chief Lisa Williams, I was told was coming. Okay, I think we have some former mayors with us this evening, including Marge Colapietro is a former mayor of Millbrae, of course. We also have former Mayor Dan Quigg. Is Dan here yet? Hello, Dan. And we have former mayor and county supervisor Mary Griffin. I'm not sure if Mary made it. And we also have former Millbrae Mayor Doris Morse with us this evening. Hi, Doris. And former Millbrae City Treasurer Mary Vella Tressler. Okay. And joining us from the Millbrae School District Board of Trustees is Board President Dennis Fama and Trustee Don Revelo. And another special guest this evening, we have the Honorable Consul General of Malta, Mr. Louis Vella. We're fortunate to have the Maltese consulate office right inside the chamber office suite, so Louis is pretty much an honorary chamber staff member now. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors present this evening. We'll start with this year's Chamber Board Chairman, although he said he might be late with patience, Dr. Nick Bronzini of Bronzini Dental. And Director Rolita K. Ariata of Walgreens. First Vice Chair, Mary Lou Edwards of Provident Credit Union. Director Maria Jack of Trans-Pacific National Bank. Second Vice Chair, Mary Ellen Pellegrini of Coldwell Banker. Director Karen Steffi of Amelia's Antics. Karen's probably still working hard at her shop. And we have Director Nick Corcamelis of Positive Electric. Nick is still working too. And our chamber board members, Gordon Dito, Stephen Chung, Linda Mall, Vijay Patel, and Gary Baranti send their regrets. Well, obviously Gary was here or we wouldn't have that delicious food in the back, but he did have to leave. So now the Chamber wants to thank our very generous sponsors of this evening's event. Representing our sponsor, Magnolia of Millbrae, we have the Magnolia's Director of Marketing, Ms. Sherry Plambeck. Sherry? Representing our sponsor, South San Francisco Scavenger Company, we have Paul Formosa and John Rossi. I'd like to say a special thanks to South San Francisco Scavenger President, Mr. Doug Button, who is unable to be here tonight. And representing our sponsor, Walgreens, is Rolita K. Ariata, who is also on our board of directors. And she also provided these refreshing beverages that you'll be enjoying this evening. So thank you all for your generous support. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. The Millbrae Chamber has been an integral part of Millbrae for 65 years now. Since 1949, our members have represented a very wide range of businesses in our community, businesses of all shapes and sizes, along with local nonprofits, community groups, and service clubs. We also have Millbrae residential members who support us and come to our events. All of these businesses, groups, and individuals make up the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, an organization devoted to the betterment and success of the business community by active representation, advocacy, and economic development, which in turn strengthens the rest of our community and adds to the quality of Millbrae life. Business in Millbrae is still recovering from the Great Recession. Many of our smaller downtown businesses took a real hit when Safeway had to close for an entire year due to its recent remodel. Customers who would typically visit other downtown businesses after shopping at Safeway shopped elsewhere during the remodel, and our downtown merchants felt their absence. Fortunately, the new Safeway store is beautiful, and its reopening restored the vibrancy to Millbrae's downtown shopping scene. The new, much larger store added much-needed parking, and has inviting outdoor spaces that invite people to linger in Millbrae's downtown area, which is what we all want. We did have a few businesses leave us since the last State of the City. Rosie's Cantina at 333 Broadway is gone. The space is reopening soon, though, with a new restaurant called Third Eye, and it will have Indian cuisine, something new to Millbrae. And I'm told that the popular bar at Rosie's will reopen. We also lost Red Brick Pizza and Kohl's Department Store. We don't yet know what's going into those locations, and we're hoping to get some great new businesses there. And other new businesses, I'm sorry. If you'd like to have a say in what goes on in Millbrae's community development and then the next phase of the community development plans for the BART station area, please be sure to come to the next Millbrae Station Area Specific Plan Workshop. It's going to be held on June 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. right here in the Chakouty Room. You can get details at the City of Millbrae website. Other new businesses in Millbrae include America's Tire Company, and that's going into the old Goodyear Auto location. That was at 1559 El Camino Real. And we have a great new Sherwin-Williams store that I hope all of you have visited by now. It's in the Shaw's Plaza, where the old Shaw's Candy was back in the day. And whichever store you shop at, the Chamber and the City of Millbrae want to thank you for doing as much of your shopping as possible inside Millbrae, because it can and does make a difference when you shop locally. Your dollars spent here in Millbrae support vital city services and our infrastructure, and every single dollar helps. Well, before I introduce you to our honorable mayor this evening, I'd like to tell you a little bit about his background. Oh, thank you, Dan. I might like to give a belated introduction. We now have Ann Oliva, City Council member, and Ruben Holliber with us tonight. Robert, I'm sorry. Okay, my tag says otherwise, but okay. And Robert Gottschalk, Vice Mayor, City Council. Thank you, Robert. My apologies. Back to Wayne. Many of you in this room obviously know Wayne personally. Others may be meeting him for the first time. But either way, isn't it interesting to find out how someone came to be where they are today? Wayne was elected to the Millbrae City Council in 2011 after serving 6 years on the Millbrae Planning Commission. and he's currently serving his first term as mayor. His many hats include serving on several boards, including the Association of Bay Area Governments, the Peninsula Traffic Congestion Relief Alliance, and the Electrification of Caltrain Committee, as well as representing the city of Millbrae on other regional and county committees. Wayne and his family have lived in Millbrae for 28 years. And although Wayne looks young, he's actually been in public service for a long time now, joining the Civil Air Patrol at the tender age of 13, where he rose to the rank of lieutenant colonel. Wayne graduated from City College of San Francisco and went on to graduate from UC Berkeley with a degree in chemical engineering. At Cal, Wayne was president of the student chapter of the American Society of Chemical Engineers. His passion for environmental stewardship fits perfectly into his 22-year career as an environmental engineer, assisting and regulating companies to ensure that they don't pollute the air, the water, or the land. And Wayne was founding president of the Millbrae Education Foundation. He's also a member of the Millbrae Lions Club and an advisor to the Millbrae Leos. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce to you the Honorable Wayne J. Lee, Mayor of Millbrae.
Thank you, Lorianne. And thank you, Chamber, and for sponsoring this important event. Okay, let me get my notes up. Let's see, did we miss anybody? Oh, and Mary Griffin's here. I just want to say hi to Mary. We want to acknowledge Mary. And also want to acknowledge our Recreational Commissioner, Dan Quigg, and Kathy Quigg, who's on our Planning Commission. And I want to introduce my son, Nicholas. He's my AV expert. And my father and mother, I don't have my father, Arnold and Mimi. Okay. All right, those are the most important people because then I get fed. Okay. All right, anyway, welcome everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today to present the state of our city, to celebrate our many accomplishments, and to share some of our goals for the coming year. I am going to talk about where we've been and where we plan to go. First, I'd like to acknowledge and thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce, Lorianne, and I'd like to, and the Chamber once again is hosting this event. So, and we also like to thank our sponsors, South San Francisco Scavenger Company, Walgreens, and the Magnolia of Millbrae. Lorianne, thank you for introducing everybody, because I might have missed somebody, so I'm glad you did it. It has been a privilege and honor to serve the Millbrae community the past 10 years. First, as a planning commissioner, as you already heard, and now 3 years on the city council. My involvement in the community has shaped my philosophy about the role in government in the community's life. I firmly believe that government provides the tools to help the community prosper. Though a wide variety of quality of life initiatives, including recreation, safety, social enhancement, youth-oriented programs, and public works programs. Judged by this measure, Millbrae has had a resounding successful year. I, my fellow council members, and city staff, in conjunction with our many volunteers and community organizations, have been actively planning and working to revitalize the energy of the Millbrae economy, which in turn will generate the necessary revenues to ensure that we provide great city services. And also preserving the charm of our city, the educated, multicultural, and friendly community that we have. Currently, we are on solid ground. Our city is safe and a friendly community. Property values have gone up. All our schools in Millbrae have received the California Distinguished School Awards, and I congratulate the Millbrae School District. I know they wanted to be here, but it's 8th grade graduation, so bad on me. Let me start by saying that the city has a balanced budget. It is a modest, small for the task ahead, though. We have to cut and scrape as retail revenues shrank and continues to shrink. If the budget were a house, it would be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 1-car garage house. But Millbrae has lots of children, as you know. So Millbrae needs at least a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage house. We need to grow our budget and revenues because escalating costs have been rising faster than revenues. In 4 years, we will have to consider cuts to the budget without intervention. We need to plan and invest in our future. We need to hire experienced staff because good staff ensures good management, efficiency, and recruitment of more talent. Millbrae needs to invest in its business district, develop underperforming land, and repair and build infrastructures to keep the attractive, high-revenue businesses, which will create jobs and fund our quaint community for years to come. Millbrae needs to invest in a multitude of infrastructure projects, such as roads, sidewalks, transit and bicycle lanes, safe pedestrian crossings, ultra-high-speed data conduit for businesses, sewer, drains, parks, and schools. This past February, the City Council established the top priorities to accomplish in 2014, designed to stabilize and grow our economy, with the overall objective to provide great city services. These goals were successful passage of the fire assessment, which we did, and economic development. Great cities. Thanks. This is what I see as the core function of city government. Help provide for safe and the well-being of residents and ensure a prosperous Millbrae. Part of that's police services. Our police department has been incredibly successful since transitioning to the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. Over the past year, the city has experienced 11.2% reduction in crime overall, and emergency response time has been reduced. We've also enjoyed a 48% decline in traffic collisions this past year, thanks to the Millbrae Bureau's efforts to make the city's roadways safer. Our police bureau is active in our community, not only through law enforcement, but by building bridges via positive partnerships. One example is the San Mateo County Sheriff's Activity League, SAL, which connects cops with kids to promote academic excellence, healthy choices, youth leadership, and character development. On behalf of the entire City Council, I want to extend our sincere thanks to former Police Chief Ed Barberini for his service. Ed's not here. And I also, unfortunately, also like to welcome our new police chief, Captain Lisa William, who couldn't make it, but we would like to acknowledge her as well. We look forward to working with you over the next year to build the success of the Police Bureau. If we have any members of SAL here, do we? No? Okay. Or Sarah's volunteer, just stand up and would like to acknowledge you. Nobody? Okay, well, on TV we acknowledge you. Thank you. Okay, on to fire services. All of ours at the city has to do with less. Over the past several years, in order to make ends meet, the fire department is no exception. We are pleased that for the first time in more than 7 years, the department is able to hire 2 firefighters. This past year, our firefighters were called upon to assist on the Rim Fire, one of the largest fires in California history. We also assisted in the Asiana crash tragedy at SFO. Our fire department continues to achieve cost effectiveness by sharing services with neighboring cities and agencies. One of our goals for the coming fiscal year is to implement these new partnerships, to eliminate some redundant management positions, engage in joint purchasing, and eliminate old equipment. Other goals for the coming year are to improve our emergency operations centers through updated equipment and technology, to increase the number of community emergency response team, or CERT, and also train more CPR certified citizens. Do we have anyone who has gone through the CERT program here? Please stand up and we'd like to acknowledge you. Thank you. I would like to also acknowledge and thank Fire Chief Mark Lattis for his leadership and oversight of fire department. Thank you to you and your staff for helping to pass the fire suppression assessment. Public Works. An example of how hard your Public Works department is working was on December 12th, 2013, around 10 p.m., which I was woken up at Friday the 13th at 4 o'clock in the morning, about 7 water main breaks. The cause of these breaks was due to the age of the pipes. Crews worked for more than 20 hours to identify and replace all affected lines. Thank you for your hard work. Our Public Works Department continues to keep the streets clean and functioning, the water and sewer lines flowing. This past year, we implemented a program to keep our bay waters clean, the program to keep our fire hydrants ready for fires, and protect our water supply by installing fire protection system on water tanks and more. This past year, our Public Works team worked with the Parks Department and businesses to reduce litter and clean the streets downtown. Late last year, they completed the new traffic signal at Victoria Avenue in El Camino Real. We will be installing flashing lights on El Camino to warn cars and drivers of pedestrians crossing El Camino. We also installed a video surveillance camera at the Millbrae skate park. To address some of the community's parking concerns, we have enhanced neighborhood preferential parking, and which will limit non-residents from parking in some of our neighborhoods. We also have set aside funds for a comprehensive citywide parking study. Again, we'd like to acknowledge the hard work of our Public Works staff for this past year. Thank you. The city proposed capital plan for the coming year is well-rounded. We are currently repairing streets, and we will continue through the summer. However, many capital improvement projects for future years remain unfunded. The city water and sewer funds are not generating adequate revenues, supporting the ongoing operational and capital needs. Similarly, the city's storm drains, streets, parks, and technology needs are inadequately funded. I formed a task force led by Vice Mayor Gottschalk and Councilman Holliver to look at our current and future infrastructure needs and how to plan for funding these needs. We acknowledge Councilman Holliver and Vice Mayor Gottschalk. Thank you very much. Recreational services. Recreational opportunities and social enrichment is another important part of our service provided by local governments. The city continues to offer a wide array of activities, special events for residents of all ages. The Recreation Department expands its middle school sports program to provide girls lacrosse, co-educational golf, and intramural badminton. The children of Millbrae will soon have more places to play. A new playground equipment are being installed thanks to the work of the Recreation Commission, the Millbrae Rotary Club, the Millbrae Community Foundation, AGH Management, and recent council action. Finally, the Recreation Commission plans to build community gardens to engage more of our residents. The crowning achievement of a recreational department is the recent grand opening of the Millbrae Community Youth Center, located at the former Scout House behind the community center. The Youth Center offers additional after-school programs, and it's run by the Mid-Peninsula Boys and Girls Club. The center will offer day camps for middle school students and is also available for rent. The Youth Center is truly a testament of what happens when people come together from diverse organizations and backgrounds, unified behind a common goal to collaborate for the benefit of the community. Over the coming fiscal year, the Recreation Department plans to continue to improve customer service and programming to meet community needs. Thank you to the Recreation staff for their ongoing work to enhance the social fabric of our city. Public outreach, and this is really dangerous putting water on the computer. Key to our success in delivering high-quality services is maintaining a dialogue with our community. It is important for us to hear from the people we serve and for us to be able to communicate with them. In this regard, I'm really excited to announce that we recently unveiled our new Facebook page. We plan to use social media as an avenue for two-way communication with the public and publicize Millbrae in a cost-effective manner, enhancing Millbrae's presence in the county. Please like us on Facebook and let us know what's on your mind. I would like to thank the Technology Committee, led by Councilwoman Oliva and Councilman Holliver. Now, let's talk about finances. First, the fire assessment. As you know, the city worked hard over the past decade to cut costs, streamline operation, improve efficiency, reduce staffing, sought grant funding, and increase revenue from economic development. We've made incredible strides in this regard, even winning national recognition from innovative programs. The city's efforts to cut costs are evident. Our fund balances and our net financial position has improved since 2010. Yet, despite all we have accomplished, at this point last year, we were facing a significant budget shortfall for 2014 and 2015 that would have necessitated drastic cuts in basic services, what I call being 6 feet under. I am pleased that once again our community came together and supported the continuation of the fire suppression assessment for 10 years. The financial support will bring approximately $1.5 million in revenues to the city, which is 22% of the fire services budget. I am really humbled by the community's continued support of this measure. The people of Millbrae sent a loud and clear message. The public is willing to pay for their fair share for public services. To anyone who supported this measure and was involved in this passage, I extend a wholehearted gratitude. I would also like to especially acknowledge Councilwoman Marge Cole-Pietro and Fire Chief McWhorter for stepping up a third time and joining me to steer this effort. Thank you, Marge. Thanks in part to this success, the city is in better financial shape now than it has ever been in recent years. We have passed a balanced general fund budget for the coming fiscal year, while reaching our goal to maintain a 15% reserve on a rainy day fund. For the first time since the economic downturn, the City Council will have the opportunity to evaluate and fund new policy initiatives. We can also set aside significant reserves to begin to address many years of deferred maintenance. Credit is also due to our hardworking folks in the finance department. The city was awarded a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Financial Officer Association of the United States, California, which bolsters our city reputation for transparency. The finance team is also responsible for saving the city $429,000 by refinancing the 2001 general budget obligation library fund bonds. And I also like to note that our city manager, Marsha Raines, was leading that charge. Thank you, Marsha. Looking to the future, how are we going to pay for a quality of life that we come to expect here in Millbrae? While we can expect positive revenues, the cost of running a city will overtake our revenues in 3 years. And then we have to look for cuts in programs. As you can see, the line is going to intersect again. To ensure our financial future for the next 10 years, I propose we focus on a few key strategies. Developing a sustainable economy. One of our goals as a city is to ensure businesses thrive in our town, and new businesses are eager to locate here. An effective economic development policy is our key strategy to attract and retain an appropriate, diverse mix of businesses to make our city vibrant and to help fund needed city services. If you walk through our downtown, you'd never know that California was in a recession. The streets are alive, the people are shopping at our stores, dining in our fine Michelin-rated restaurants, yes, we do have a few, and enjoy each other's company. Our vibrant local economy is not by accident. It's partly due to our concerted effort to design the city in such a way that attracts visitors to our downtown, to capitalize on our cosmopolitan community, proximity to the transportation hub, South San Francisco, the SFO, and the city has approved, and it's the city's approved many transit-oriented, let's back up. And the city has now already approved numerous transit-oriented developments near downtown along the El Camino. One example is the winner of the Grand Boulevard Design Award, Millbrae Bellamore, which is 142 units of housing over ground floor retail space. And I think we had George Lamb there, who represents the Bellamore project. Congratulations, George. If you don't know about the Grand Boulevard project, it's a joint project by all the cities up and down the peninsula to try to make the El Camino a much more vibrant corridor. Coming next to market soon is the Pandera development at 120 South El Camino Real, the old Windy site. This 4-story mixed-use transit-oriented development includes 54 residential units and 1,100 square feet of office space with 2 levels of parking. Construction will be completed this summer. For the first time since the advent of iPods and MP3 players, large-scale development is coming and is looking more and more reality. Late last year, the city received proposals to build 2 new mixed-use transit-oriented developments at the Millbrae station area, which is owned by BART. Developer that BART selected is proposing a mixed-use project, offering office space, hotels, restaurants, and retail on 10 acres. Additional to that, the area between the Millbrae Lumberyard and Peter's Cafe on El Camino is undergoing a site design review, which is the first step in the development. So this is very exciting. We've been trying to do this for a long time, and it's starting to come to fruition. We will insist that the new retail developments have signed contracts with diversity of retail and restaurants, because in the past we've allowed developers to come in, they've made us many promises, and they left us with empty shells of retail space. Last year, my fellow council member and I approved an economic development plan that proposed 22 short-term actions and several long-term actions the city can take to promote economic development. So far, 18 of the 22 short-term projects, or 82%, have been completed and are in the process of being completed. One of our goals is to assist our business in organizing themselves into the Business Improvement Plan, a BID. The goal of the BID would be to create a downtown that is vibrant, successful, revenue-generating, attractive, and pedestrian-friendly. Our downtown business community would assess themselves to pay for marketing, cosmetic improvements, and agree on the required stand for downtown look and feel. To attract more visitors to experience our friendly city in the sun, to shop and dine in Millbrae, staff is working hard to erect digital signs at major arteries. These signs will be paid for by owners of the signs, and it will generate residuals to the city. So the city can advertise and get paid for it. That's a pretty good deal. To attract businesses of the future, we're also enhancing the current businesses. We are planning to enter an agreement with a provider of ultra-fast internet. This will be run as a franchise and will pay the residuals to the city. Another good idea. In the near future, you will see new signs that will help Millbrae become a destination point. These wave-finding signs will point visitors to food, retail, park, government centers, transit, parking, and lodging in the city. The council has approved designs for new, more eye-catching entry monument signs along El Camino Real that will make a statement. You have arrived in Millbrae. I am proud to the fact that we have adopted a green building code, raising the bar on sustainability for all construction projects in the city. Recently, the council agreed that we would install electric charging stations for electric vehicles, for a fee, of course. We thank the staff of our Community Development Department for their ongoing contributions to the Millbrae economic health. Thank you. Okay, making opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hands-on council. We're not waiting for opportunities to come our way. We are making and partnering with existing opportunities. We are on the road to bring the kind of businesses that will propel and keep us in front of the competitive world, where not only businesses compete, but cities compete for investment dollars and businesses. In the last year, we have had 102 new businesses open in Millbrae. I and myself have brought 10 more new businesses when I brought Off the Grid to the Millbrae BART station. We are actively seeking even more new businesses to settle in Millbrae. Vice Mayor Gottschalk, City Manager Marshall Raines, and myself paid our own way to China to promote, exchange, and create investment in Millbrae. We have signed cooperative agreements to help overseas businesses make connections with local businesses and for local businesses to connect with overseas businesses. We are working on establishing a joint cooperative with our neighboring cities, the City of San Francisco, and overseas associations and governments to place Millbrae at the hub of international trade exchange. This will bring Millbrae prestige and what it deserves and exponentially boost our economy. Millbraeans, I'm winding down. Millbraeans and friends of Millbrae, the sun continues to shine on our great city. I feel optimistic about the coming year. The dark skies that clouded our financial security for most of the past decade has given way to clearer skies ahead. We cannot afford to sit on our laurels, however, and we need to continue to plan and to reinvent ourselves to remain prosperous. We need to prepare for the next impending economic downturn with a healthy rainy day fund. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the City Council and staff, I want to thank each and every one of you who has contributed to the health and well-being of the city. for those who have supported and renewed the fire assessment, for those who have given themselves every day to better our cities, to help others, to raise your kids, to run your businesses, and just be a good neighbor. Your efforts are the lifeblood of our community. I am honored to have served as your mayor this past year, and more importantly, I'm eternally grateful to be part of this wonderful, diverse community. This place in the sun I call my home, Millbrae. Thank you. Before I let go, I also like to acknowledge Lynn Ferrario in the back. I saw you walk in, and Don Rivero from the school board. Thanks for being. I know you were running here from a graduation ceremony, so we really appreciate what you have. And also, I just also want to give one more big round of applause for Marsha Rains, who really was very instrumental in making sure that our city is in real good financial shape and planning far ahead. Thank you, Marsha. Okay, so me and my AV crew are going to relinquish your mic back to you. Is that right?
Yes, thank you, Nikki. Would help if I had my glasses. So thank you, Mayor Lee. We all appreciate your service to our community and your dedication to the city of Millbrae and its citizens. The Millbrae Chamber of Commerce looks forward to continuing to work with the city to support and enhance local business and help our local economy thrive. Before we go any further, I'd also like to introduce to you our Farmers Market Manager, who we have right over there, Jim Barrett. Does a fabulous job running the Millbrae Farmers Market every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's over there in the 200 block of Broadway in the parking lot. So come on out and you'll find some fabulous fresh things there. Before we adjourn, I have a few thank yous to make. I'd like to introduce you to the Chamber's new executive assistant, Dana Sahai. Dana, whose hard work is responsible for putting much of this evening together for us, so thank you, Dana. I also like to thank the Millbrae Chamber Student Ambassador, Marco Lowe, for helping us tonight with registration and setup. Thank you, Marco. I would like to thank our event sponsors again, the Magnolia of Millbrae, South San Francisco Scavenger Company, and Walgreens, for their generous support, which allows us to provide the food and refreshment at this event free of charge to attendees. And finally, thank you to MCTV, Millbrae Community Television, Cable Channel 27, for taping tonight's State of the City address. Well, they had a very busy day today. They're also taping the Taylor Middle School graduation ceremony. But you can go online to mctv.tv to find out the playback schedule for this program. It'll be on MCTV Cable Channel 27 in Millbrae. If you live outside Millbrae, you can go to mctv.tv's website. On demand, you'll be able to watch State of the City and any other programs of interest. So special thanks to MCTV Chief Engineer and Community Liaison, Randy Sahai, and General Manager, Andy Pittman. I'm almost done, I promise. And the Chamber will continue working hard to promote Millbrae as a desirable place to shop, eat, stay, live, work, and play. One of the ways we do that is with our annual Millbrae Art and Wine Festival every Labor Day weekend, which showcases downtown Millbrae to over 100,000 visitors during the festival weekend. And this year's event will be held on Saturday, August 30th, and Sunday, August 31st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days. Wherever you go this summer, just make sure you're back in time for the Labor Day Weekend Festival, and we want you to enjoy the 44th Annual Millbrae Art and Wine Festival with us. Okay, so let's see. Now it's time to give away our centerpieces. In the middle of each table, I'm sure you've noticed the beautiful bouquets. Those were actually made for us by the Chamber's executive assistant, our own Dana Sahai. So once again, thank you, Dana. They are beautiful. So we're going to send the flowers home with the person at each table whose chair has a red sticker on the back. So please take a moment, check the front side of the back of your chair, or maybe she put it on the back. I'm not sure, but somewhere, if you have a red sticker, there it is. It's on the back of the chairs. Okay. So if your chair has that red sticker on it, please take that flower arrangement home with you tonight. Compliments of the Millbrae Chamber. There's an empty chair. There you go, Ann. So to conclude our evening, I want to thank you all for making time to be with us tonight. And we are blessed to have a wonderful city like Millbrae to call home, with a future made brighter because our residents, business owners, schools, service organizations, community groups, elected officials, and city staff work together so well for the good of us all. So thank you again for coming. Please help yourselves to the food and the refreshment. Good evening.